Hello, welcome along to episode 84 of Adventures in Pop. My name is Simon Jacobs, and you are extremely welcome. We're going to be talking today about my brand new single. It comes out on Friday. If you're coming back to this many years in the future, then I should probably specify that we're talking about the 18th of November 2022. The single is called Out of a Clear Blue Sky. And actually it couldn't be more inappropriate. As I'm talking to you now, I can hear rain pouring on the roof, and you probably might get a little bit of that picked up on the microphone. So if it sounds a bit like it's raining, it's because it is raining quite heavily here in London this evening. But enough of the weather. Let's talk about the brand new single, and it is a drama-packed single indeed. Okay, where to begin? I think Out of a Clear Blue Sky. I'm trying to remember why I wrote this. This is probably 2 to 3 years old in its first form. It's gone through a few, transformations since then. And I think it was an idea. I think it was given to me by somebody else who was just talking about, after many years, somebody coming back. That is basically the story. It's like you've loved somebody years and years ago, it all went wrong. The intervening years have been long and painful, and then suddenly, just when you're recovering, they come back. That is the essence of the story. And two things really, just to begin with. One is, I've talked a little bit before about opening lines. It's very useful if you can think up a really, a good hooky opening line that is intriguing and pulls people in. That's a blooming good thing. And on this song, I'm not suggesting this is the best opening line of all time, but it's quite a fun one. On this particular track, the opening line is just when I got myself back together. Just when I'd got myself back together. And just when, my feet are back on the ground, it starts with that. Just when I thought that everything was okay, essentially, you blow it all by coming back. So just when I got myself back together is the opening line. And I think it is, well, it's intriguing. It sort of sets up certainly the signal, I think, towards, something tragic happening, which of course is lovely. That's what I like, a good tragedy. So that's a starting point in terms of its lyrics, and there's probably not much else to say about the lyrics because they're very self-explanatory. As they work through the song, and you will hear that very shortly because I'm going to play you the song and show you the brand new video at the end of this little chat. So hang in there because it's worth it. He says. The other thing I think is probably worth pointing out right at the very beginning is that musically this track started out with a piano sample, and in fact it was 2 piano samples if I remember rightly, and I merged them together, and even there was a little gap where I couldn't work out how to make the sample work in the gap, so there's a bit of me playing the piano which you won't even notice because it's kind of merged into one piano track. So there was a sample for the verse, a sample for the chorus, and here and there I had to fill in some bits in between. But let me play you a little bit of the piano because it's very lyrical and quite beautiful and kind of sad, and it was the musical hook that got me thinking, there's a song here somewhere, let's kind of piece it together. And then as time went by, and particularly when I came back to it, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So here's another thing. A little while ago we talked about epicness, didn't we? Epicosity, whatever that word is. This is another epic, really. This is a song that starts, gently enough and certainly grows to quite a crescendo, and it has a lot going on, musically as it works its way through. So, we've talked about the opening line. We've talked about the piano sample. I think the next thing is probably worth pointing out to you is, yes, another sample. It's not often that I think you could ever use a sample that is so kind of rich and big as this string sample, which I used in the second verse of this song. So I'm just going to play you a bit of this string sample. I mean, it's kind of colossal, and you can't use this too often. I mean, it's not a sample I can ever use again, because it's just so big and really quite overbearing, except I just use it in one place and then it's gone. Have a listen. Now, I think I ought to point out as well, there's a fantastic sound and again, this is another sample of a guitar sound. There are several guitars being played in this song. I'm playing one, but you can hardly hear it, sort of in the background, kind of blending in. There's a little bit of electric guitar which I'm playing on a keyboard, and then there is this sample which I use just in the kind of chorus sections. And what it does, apart from obviously play some kind of guitar notes, it increases the size of the whole song. It's full of space basically, and when it comes in, it just sounds absolutely enormous. And it's not really the notes that make it sound enormous. It's the reverb. It's the huge echoey space that comes kind of crashing in when this enters the song. Let me give you an example. One other thing I think I want to point out, it's a track with noises on it, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's I think what we might call atmospherics, but it kind of bubbles along with the drum and percussion track. So let me play the noises track on its own, and then with the drums, and you could just see how well it kind of all kind of sticks together. And one other thing, there is a kind of a climax in the song. So after that string section you heard before, and it has done the second verse, I bring in some brass and some kind of brass stabs, I suppose, and I emphasize them by hitting some drum, digitally hitting some drums. And it's pretty dramatic. It is a slightly kind of bonkers, almost the sound of somebody, getting a bit hysterical. Have a listen. This is the loudest part of the song, if you like. Look, you've heard now bits from all over the song, and the only thing you haven't heard is the song itself. So look, I think probably time for me to shut up this slightly overexcited introduction to Out of a Clear Blue Sky. I'm going to leave you obviously with the song and the whole video. The video was fun, but in the making of the video I've probably used more clips of other people's videos than any other video I've ever made, actually. There's a lot of clips in here, and some of them are my own, but, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? You will see for the second time in 2 videos my front door. So I think it's probably time to give my front door a rest. But blimey, it was fun. And I hope you enjoy the track. As I say, out on Friday. Tell all your friends. By the way, if you're enjoying Adventures in Pop as much as I am, now that I'm on the 84th episode, well, do, you know, subscribe and follow and like and all those sorts of nice things, because, well, it just makes it worth my while, doesn't it? If I just know that somebody's there. Yeah, I know it's you. I know. I knew that. All right, listen, I will see you next time, because next week there is going to be a Gold Hawk Foxes single out. So it's all coming thick and fast now. But as I say, enjoy this one first. Enjoy Gold Hawk Foxes next week. Don't get them muddled up. It's been lovely talking to you. My name's Simon Jacobs. I'll see you soon. Until then, here's Out of a Clear Blue Sky.
Just when I got myself back together, just when I got my feet back on the ground, just when I thought that I was moving forwards, turn my world around. Out of a clear blue sky, you came back. What am I supposed to think about that? All the nights that I lay awake and cried over you. No, I'm not gonna tell you all the things that I wanted to say to you. When it's much too late. All the friends who were glad that we were through. Well, I'm not gonna tell you, make amends. That's what you wanna do, but it's much too late. Just when I'd given up all hope of ever seeing you, just when I'd come to terms with the pain, just when I thought I'd drawn a line in the sand, that's when you make your entrance again. Out of a clear blue sky, you came back. What am I supposed to think about that? Out of a clear blue sky. All the nights that I lay awake and cried over you, I'm not gonna tell you all the things that I wanted to say to you. It'll have to wait. All the friends